On the show, we drive the soon-to-be-launched Nissan Terrano. In Face-to-Face, we meet the President and MD of Fiat Chrysler India. On the tracks, we tell you the best place to watch the upcoming Indian Formula One from. On the road, we travel with our Fiat Linea to Marchula. This looks familiar to you? Sure, this is the new Nissan Terrano. Did you hear me say new? Actually, the Renault-Nissan alliance in India has got into the habit of rebadging their cars and according to their brand and calling it a new car. There are quite a few examples of this. The Nissan Micra became the Renault Pulse, the Nissan Sunny has become the Renault Scala, and now it's turn of the Nissan to do a full 360 degrees and borrow from Renault. The popular SUV Duster has become the Terrano. But is it simply a case of badge engineering this time? Well, I'm inclined to think this time there's a little bit more than that, as there are some very significant changes made to the car. Let's call it platform sharing, in case it makes some of us happy. Obviously, there are benefits of doing this, but the benefits pretty much accrue for only the manufacturers. They say it saves them time and money. True, but what does the customer get? Almost identical twins with different names. And often, strangely, the rebadged product costs more. What the customer gets in place of excitement of a new product is an old one with hardly any changes and a much higher price tag. Unlike Renault, Nissan has made quite a few changes to this car. The front end has completely changed, the grille is new, there's a nice chrome strip, the lights have changed, the bonnet has changed, and all these panels have changed. And even the tail light cluster has changed, and inside there are quite a few pleasant changes. In fact, the front end is absolutely new and quite attractive. I would say this is what the next generation Duster should have been. Where Nissan would have worked harder is in the interiors. The interiors still remain uninspiring and almost identical to what the Renault Duster offers in terms of layout of the fascia and instrumentation. But what has changed is the color scheme, and this of course helps and makes it somewhat more cheerful. So the claim of a new car doesn't quite hold in its entirety. Well, let's see how she drives. The Nissan Terrano is driven by, no surprises for guessing here, the same motor which revs under the Duster hood, the K9K diesel from Renault. I told you, don't be surprised, but Nissan has worked on the noise and vibration levels, and the result is a smoother drive, especially at higher revs. But the suspension setup and the tire size remains identical to that of the Duster. The Terrano is powered by a 1.5-litre turbo diesel engine sourced from Renault, the K9K. It's a very refined and very smooth unit, and power delivery is very linear. The handling of the Terrano is very nice. It really grips the road and corners extremely well. Like the Duster, the Terrano too would be available with two engine power options in the diesel trim, an 85 PS and a more powerful 110 PS. The engine remains the same, that is the 1.5-litre K9K, but the engine mapping has been changed to give two options. Additionally, there would also be a petrol variant which would be powered by a 1.6-litre engine, belting out 104 PS as maximum power. The Nissan Terrano has retained most of its practical qualities. It offers decent amount of space with comfortable seating for 5 average size adults, and the stance is quite high with a ground clearance of 205 mm, which is very good for our well-paved roads. We would have even called it a full-blown SUV, but for the fact that it still does not have a 4x4. The rear seats are wide and flat, and there is enough space here for what they call 3 average size adults. And they have also provided a rear AC vent. Very thoughtful gesture. But the problem is that this is plonked right in the middle of two front seats. And what this is doing is eat away into the cabin space. And anybody sitting in the middle like I am will have to sit like this, which is very, very uncomfortable.
Once you open the hatch, you find to your surprise that the luggage space is quite decent. And with the seats folded down, you can easily carry your golf kit.
So how do I really sum this up? Actually, I'm quite impressed by the changes Nissan has made. This no longer is a badge-traded car. The changes to the front end especially are significant, and it's given it a really nice look. In fact, this looks almost designer as compared to that of the Duster. But under the skin, this still remains a Duster. The handling and the performance are almost identical. In my estimation, the price of this car should be about Rs 75,000 more than the existing Duster of the same trim level. So much so for the theory of platform sharing saving costs. But on the whole, I would still recommend this car in spite of the higher prices because this offers a more wholesome package. It handles and drives really well, has lots of space, good fuel efficiency, and looks really good, at least the front end. And thanks to the Duster, it has proven reliability.
The Nissan Terrano will be launched in the first half of October this year, and the company will then announce the exact prices and the trims.
Welcome to the show, Nagesh. We have a few questions for you. Number one, we see a resurgent Fiat. It's changing and you are split from Tata. It's a new beginning, is it?
We have embarked on what I call the three-pillar strategy. It's about the exclusive network, it is about the brand building, and it's about product strategy. So one at a time, what we decided April 1st was we were going to go set up our own exclusive dealers all over the country. So year to date, we have 75 exclusive dealers who are actively selling Fiat cars all over the country. We wanted to give them the European experience in terms of sales and service. And so our customers should get nothing but the best. So that's what we strive to do. The 75 dealerships will grow to 100 plus by the end of the fiscal year. So that's on the network strategy. On the product strategy, we have announced a very ambitious 9 new or significantly refreshed products over the next 3 years. And we're very committed to that product strategy, and we're going to be rolling out the products. The third aspect itself is the brand building. Fiat is a brand that has been known in India for a long time. Introduce the new Fiat to the aspiring Indian, to the Indian who is looking for a world-class product and a world-class brand. So that's our aim, and so we're doing a lot of marketing activities, a lot of 360-degree campaign which introduces the Fiat brand to the India. So in that sense, these are exciting times. I mean, these are exciting times, and we are very excited that initial trend is very positive for us, and things are headed in the right direction.
What would you say is the biggest challenge you are facing as a Fiat brand in India?
In terms of the biggest challenge, really gets down to there is a perception that people like to say Fiat is known for this, and every single day we will work very hard to overcome that perception.
Any major marketing campaigns, anything that you would point out that which is working towards this?
Yeah, we ran a couple of marketing campaigns. The first one in April was really what we call Make the Move, and we were encouraging people as we are beginning to make moves in terms of the Fiat family itself. We wanted our customers also to see what moves we're making and come join us. Then we have been running literally a 360-degree campaign, which has a lot of activities. Both we ran a couple of other television commercials which talked about, again, there was perception and there was reality.
Typically the problem of Fiat has not been product, it has been the perception or even somewhat a reality that the brand has not been able to service cars. It got into a partnership which wasn't really reliable or long lasting. So how are you going to fight that?
One of the lessons learned from the past was really our service experience and our kind of dealership experience. So clearly the exclusive dealer network gives the right attention and the right sales and service experience, right?
So if you were to tell your customers today what to expect from the Fiat brand, this is what you will say?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say come check out one of our exclusive service and sales centers. And if you're not satisfied with the performance, do let us know.
Where do you see the Fiat brand in, say, 2 years' time?
All I can say is I think we are headed in the right direction. We are the brand itself globally, if you look at it, Fiat brand is a very successful brand, whether it's in North America, South America, Europe. So to me, it's a question of time that India, being one of the top markets in the world, India has to do well. Fiat has to do well in India. So to me, the combination of what we're doing, products, network, brand building, I believe Fiat will get back to its respectable place in the next 2 to 5 years.
Looks familiar? Well, it should, considering that this is the only place in the country where cars can drive as fast as 320 kilometers per hour and still not get challaned for it. Yes, we're at India's Temple of Speed, the Buddha International Circuit, where in a little over a month's time, we will hear the rumble of Formula One cars racing for supremacy around this glorious 5.1 kilometer track. Tickets are on sale now, and you better book yours early to avoid any kind of disappointment. Now let's just get you familiar with the track and take you around the various stands from where you can enjoy the race. The track has 16 corners with 2 long straights and provides plenty of overtaking opportunities. The viewing area itself is divided into 4 zones: the north, the south, the east, and of course the west. Which is where we are at the moment, because this is where all the action starts. We're sitting here in the main grandstands from where we get the perfect view of the start and end of the race. All the 22 cars line up in front of you here, and we get a very good view of the drivers interacting with their teams and mechanics to make sure that the cars are properly set up just before the start of the race. This is also the ideal place to see all the pit stops which happen right in front of you, and you see the cars streaming into the pit lane, getting in quickly, trying to change their tires and getting out without losing any time to their opponents out on the track. The tickets here, well, they start from about 10,000 rupees for a single race day event, and for the 3-day season pass, which includes the free practice, the qualifying and the race day, they cost about 15,000 rupees. But if you're in the mood for a more relaxed kind of a viewing experience, then the picnic stands is the perfect place to be. You don't get any seats to sit on or even a roof over your heads, but what you do get is these lush, beautiful manicured green lawns from where you can catch all the racing action out on the track. Now we are here at the North Zone picnic stand, which is situated at the end of the main start-finish straight, and you can see all the cars racing down the straight and trying to outbrake each other into the first corner before making their way up to turn 2 and turn 3. Turn 3 is followed by the long 1.2 kilometer straight, which is where we get to witness a lot of DRS enabled overtaking. Now we are here at the East Zone Star Stand, from where you will get a vantage point to witness all this overtaking action and also smell some tire smoke. You see, cars racing down this long straight achieve speeds of up to 320 kilometers per hour before braking hard down to speeds of about 100 kilometers per hour to safely negotiate this sharp right-hander at turn 4. One of the unique and much appreciated features of the Buddha International Circuit has to be this long 215-degree loop. Now what makes it quite challenging is the fact that this is a multi-apex loop, which means that it can be quite tricky to get absolutely spot on. Now we're here at the premium stand of the South Zone, and this is the place to be to catch all this racing action as the drivers go roaring around this loop at speeds of about 200 kilometers per hour. Turn 16 is the last corner on the track, which leads the drivers back to the start-finish straight, and the grandstands are the place to be to see who crosses the finish line first.
This year, for the first time, we have launched the Sunday tickets right from the beginning. And significance of Sunday ticket is that it is much more cheaper than the seasonal ticket that is for 3 days, and it starts from 1,500, which is the cheapest, and it goes up to 15,000. We have our own Facebook page. Right now, can take part in these Facebook quizzes and win race tickets. We will also have a scheme where people can come for autograph sessions. There is a Formula One village which is created every year, and Formula One village will have a whole lot of merchandise shops and various such activity takes place there. And there is this food plaza, a huge food street. There will be a continuous music concerts going on in the F1 village site. In grandstand, we have these boxes, rooms which have all the facilities. If Alonso can win next 2 races and then they come to India, then it is going to be very close, So it all depends, Indian audience spectators may have a very good race, awaiting for them.
So if you worship speed, the gods themselves will be here soon, and to catch them live, you can get your tickets at in.bookmyshow.com.
We do this travel segment in our show with only one objective: to encourage you viewers to get in behind the wheel of your car and take short driving holidays. We know driving holidays have never been popular, but with the best of cars coming in, the road infrastructure improving, this is the time to venture out. Driving holidays have their own advantages. You can take the people you want to, you can listen to your favorite music, you can take stops and even detours. It's the most independent form of traveling actually. So we say, next time you have some time on your hands, hit the roads. And I'm sure it will be a new experience. More so if you drive something as nice as I am doing today, the Fiat Linea.
For our travel segment, our choice of destinations have been simple. We chose places out of different metros which are ideal for a long weekend getaway without causing any stress to you or your car. But at the same time, the destinations had something to offer you. The beauty of the mountains or a tranquil sea beach where you can laze around.
Today I am on my way to a place called Marchula. Chances are you haven't quite heard of this place because it's still not on the tourist radar. It's a place waiting to be discovered, surrounded by lush green mountains and the river Ramganga flowing through it. It's as beautiful as it gets. So see you in Marchula.
We are driving our trusted and reliable companion for the road trip, the 2013 Fiat Linea, and it is powered by a 1.3-litre multi-jet diesel, which churns out 93 PS as maximum power. With a high ground clearance and an engine which is high on power and low on fuel consumption, it makes for a great car for out-of-town drives. Marchula is about 350 kilometers from Delhi. The route is through Muradabad, and after the bypass you make a right turn for Ramnagar, the district headquarters. From there on, the route turns extremely scenic and you are on the fringes of the Corbett National Park. And on the way up, we pass the main gate of the park as well. But sadly, the park is closed for visitors at this time. It opens from October till June every year. We drive past the Corbett National Park before we start climbing. And this is where we get the first sight of Marchula down below in the valley.
I finally arrived in Marchula and the river Ramganga is flowing here in all its glory. If you are looking for a quiet and peaceful vacation in the company of nature, then this is the place. Marchula is dotted with what they call resorts, and it's easy to find a place of your choice and budget. These resorts are actually quite nice and luxurious and set in natural surroundings. And most of them provide the services of an in-house environmentalist who will take you on a guided tour of the flora and fauna of this area. If there is a river, there are bound to be fishes. So can the fishermen stay away? No way. I have heard stories of some of the biggest marshes being caught here, and if you are a keen angler, this place is a must visit for you. Today you see no one here because officially the fishing season starts in October. It's possible to fish here if you get a permit, but there's a catch. The catch can't go with you. If you catch a fish, it has to be put back in the water for environmental reasons. So if you are dreaming of a nice fish dinner, forget it.
On the other side flows the river Kosi, so Marchula lies in the valley between two mighty rivers, the Ramganga and the Kosi, and it is surrounded by undulating hills which gives the place its immense beauty and charm. It is situated on the periphery of the Corbett National Park, and it is common to receive nocturnal visitors such as wild boars, deers, and even at times leopards and elephants.
In my opinion, this is one of the best ways to spend a vacation. Sitting by a beautiful bonfire, listening to a gurgling river, providing the background music. The evening is nice and quiet, far from the maddening crowd. No blaring of horns, no screaming traffic. This is sheer bliss. And I would have no hesitation in recommending this to anybody who's looking for beauty and peace. After so many trips, I can truly say that the Fiat Linea here has been a trusted and reliable travel companion. The power is good on the highway, the handling is nice, and what impresses me most is the fuel efficiency. On the highway, she really returns good fuel average. And the space is generous. The boot here can pack in a whole lot more than what you can need on a weekend. And there's an added assurance. Fiat is fast expanding its network in India, so in case of an emergency, help would be easy to come by.